Hey you guys, it's Chef Joanne again for Short Cute Cooking. I want to stop in and I wanted some stuffed peppers. And, I wanted to turn it up a notch. So, I decided today I'm going to make stuffed peppers, but I'm going to make it different. I'm going to still do my onions, my instant rice, and my ground beef. But what I did was, I'm throwing in some bell pepper with it. So the two new things I'm throwing in these peppers is going to be bell pepper and Italian sausage. Other people probably already done it. I haven't had it. I haven't seen the recipe with people doing it that way. So I decided to get, and then I thought it would be cute to get these. So what a lot of people don't know is certain bell peppers that you cook up, they cook up sweet. So it's not going to be hot or spicy or anything. Some of them cook up sweet. Most of them do, depending on what you're putting them in. And I'm using the same sauce I use for the meatballs and my spaghettis and stuff like that. I'm using the same sauce. I might even add some mushrooms in a couple of them just to see if I can, if that taste, bring out the taste with the mushrooms. But this is me giving you guys if you want to just upgrade, you tired of eating the same old thing again and again and again. I'm like, I want stuffed peppers, but I'm tired of eating it the same way. Just turn it up a notch, and this is just bell peppers. Get some tomato sauce if you don't feel like making it yourself. That's why it's called quick cooking. Onions, rice, you see the four seasonings, garlic powder, onion powder, seasoning, salt, and pepper. I'm throwing some extra bell pepper on the inside of it for the meat itself, because some of my kids don't eat the bell pepper. They'll eat just the meatball, but I want them to have the bell pepper too, to get them, like, okay, it does taste good together, and then maybe next time. And then plus I'm putting them in, I usually use these. But I'm just going to go ahead and then best way to cut them, depending on if you're cooking for a lot of people. If it's just you and your family and you grab like 4 or 5 of these, I like to cut just the top off. Now the seeds doesn't do anything if you forget some in there, so don't panic if you forget some in the pepper, because it's just more flavoring. Because crushed red peppers are just seeds. So you put it there, and once you stuff it, I cook it with the top on so the top could be eaten too. Or you can leave it like that. But if you're having more than one person come over, cut it in half. Then it makes a bowl. That way 2 people, well, not this small one, but I'm just using this one as an example, to just, instead of cutting it upwards like this with the top on it, like if you're having just an intimate dinner with just 2 people, just you and a significant other, make it look pretty with this. It still look pretty once you cut it in half, but I usually only do the cutting in half like this when it comes to me having a few more people coming over. And then I usually use these, but I decided to go ahead and use the small ones this time. Well, these are the mediums. They got some smaller than this. They're harder to stuff. Do not get those. They're still good. They're harder to stuff. But these are the 2 ways you can cut them. This is going to be the new way that I'm going to be cooking it with the Italian sausage and ground beef. And we're going to see how it tastes. So what I did was, since we're testing this out and we don't know how it's going to turn out, what I'm going to do is these are just ground beef, just regular ground beef. This is just Italian sausage by itself. Now this is a mixture of the ground beef and the Italian sausage together. That way I don't make a big bowl of it and we don't like the way it tastes and we done wasted food. So I'm going to do separate bell peppers with the different mixtures. They're already going to eat this one because that's the regular way. But these 2 are different. This will fit about 2 of these little peppers. This will fit about 3 or 4 because I might just put all this in this one big one, and then cut these and put it in there, and then bake them. Okay, now what I have learned over the years is, so I know a lot of people who's made this already probably already learned this, but for my newbies, the ratio of meat to rice is never going to be an even proportion. So what you have to do, that's why I tell you, cook for yourself. You put as much or as less rice in it as you want. Now, I always use instant rice. I don't cook instant rice, but I always use it when I do stuffed cabbage or my stuffed peppers and things like that, or stuffed chicken, because it doesn't take long to cook and you don't have to worry about some parts coming out hard or undercooked. But with these, when you're making it yourself, like I like more rice in mine than meat. So I would probably put more rice in one, and then I would do another one. Now with the Italian sausage, you only got to season it a little bit because it's got the Italian flavor to it already. So you probably would only have to season this just a little bit. But you mixing it in like you would meatloaf. We're not gonna make it into a ball, and we're gonna let me stuff the big one first to show you guys. Cause I was just gonna show you that I was doing a different recipe, but then I'm like, it's a lot of people out there that probably never made it, have never made stuffed peppers. So I start by putting a little sauce on the bottom. That way your pepper itself doesn't burn. The wetness I had to, I rinse the dish first and before So this is the ground beef with the Italian sausage mixed together. I want to add a little more rice though. So you can add as much as you want. This is yours. If they don't like it, they can always cook it themselves. But I think this is the best way to try something new. You don't have to always try a whole big batch of it or try a whole recipe, especially if you're on a budget. Like if you need to add more rice to stretch it, to make it more because you're on a budget, there's nothing wrong with that. It's not like it's going to make it taste nasty, and it's not going to come out tasting just like rice because the meat you're using is very, it has a strong flavor. Now, I'm not worried about all the bell peppers and things sticking. And no, I normally saute, like in my meatloaf and things like that, I saute everything first. And this one, you don't want to do that because you have to put it in the oven. So you don't want to do that. So this is going to be, if I knew I was going to be doing a new recipe, I would have got bigger peppers since it costs the same. They all cost the same price, but I try to get the size pepper that I'm going to use for that time, because I don't like to have it sitting in the refrigerator for the next time I need it. I try to get the size bell pepper I'm going to use. That way. Now you could do it like this. Overstuff it. Or if you're going to cook it with the cap on it, just sit it in there. And you just sit the top on it. Because the top is edible. I leave the stem there. Everybody knows bell pepper does not come with directions. But everybody knows not to eat the stem. So that goes without saying. So we got a little bit of this mixture left. Let's see. It's one of my quick, fast type of videos. So last minute thinking. I haven't been really cooking. So I should have enough to stuff these. I think I need a bigger dish than this one because from the looks of it, I got a lot of meat. And I'm going to try to stuff in these. We'll get out just the big ones, and we'll use the little ones if we have to. See, these are the perfect ones to stuff while they standing up. Because, like, these are the perfect ones that stand up by themselves. Like the bottoms, if the bottom is crooked on it, it's going to wind up being crooked. So, in order for us to tell which is which, they only gave me the 2 red ones. Oh, I'm disappointed. Because I could have did it by color. But, what you can do to keep it from getting mixed up, you can, all the ones with the Italian sausage I put to one side. And I remember it's next to the big green one. And then all the other ones I will put on the other side. Okay, now this is the one with just Italian sausage. You know what? You know what I can do? Make a small one with the Italian sausage. And then make 2 big ones. Since I got too much meat. Even it out. And that way the little ones can be dedicated just to the regular ones. That I know for a fact they'll eat with no problem. So as you can tell, I don't have my meat supplies. I don't have my little trash bowl. So I got to keep walking away from the camera because I'm not prepared, because this is an impromptu type of video. I wasn't expecting to record it. I was just going to try something new. And the best thing about the stuffed peppers is, like, your onions and stuff, you can just shove it in like that. So this is the Italian sausage by itself. And this is the Italian sausage with the ground beef. And I'm going to take this little bit of the ground beef and the Italian sausage mixture and put it in a small red one. The reason I didn't put those 2 together, even though they're the same, because they're both in the big green one. So, and I can tell the difference because this one has more. So that's the way I can remember which is which. And then I got to put a lot of onions in this. And I did, because I like onions. And my motto is, if you don't like it, cook yourself. Yeah, just shove it on in there. There we go. So now I just put this next to the one it belongs with. Throw the top on it. Now you don't have to cover your bell peppers with sauce. I don't do that at first. I let it cook first, and when it started getting to the point that it's done, I put some sauce on top and put it back in, and then I put my cheese. That way you're not literally boiling it in the oven. Now with the ones with the kids who do not eat the bell pepper at all, I just do this. So it's basically a stuffed peppered meatball. It's not gonna have the same flavor as it's gonna taste like a regular meatball. They don't know that because they don't want to eat the bell pepper. And my thing is, if you make your plate, whatever you put on that plate is what you're gonna eat. And since that I like bell peppers, I don't force my kids to eat the bell pepper. So I just try to accommodate them so we don't waste food. I don't want my kids going to remember all that time you forced us to eat stuff we didn't want to. I hated that. Oh. Like, no, you're not going to be using me to talk to your psychiatrist on some BS. I think that's probably why they food spoil, because I do let them choose. But that also helps them as kids, because if you're teaching your kids to know what they like and what they don't like and respect that, you're teaching them that this is how you respect others and people should respect you about the things you like and what you don't like. Because there's a lot of people out here forcing their opinions on people. We don't like that, so change it, and things like that. It's a lot of people out here that's weak-minded and they're actually doing it. I'm not raising any weak-minded kids. Everybody want to follow a trend and be in the in crowd and things like that. We don't care about that. Because we're not followers. We're not doing everything everybody else is doing. What's good for the goose is not always good for the gander. We're not the gander. But that's just me. I raise my kids differently from a lot of people. But giving them different stuff to eat and different varieties and the power to say I like it and I don't like it. Now I do make them eat their vegetables, but I don't have to force them to eat their vegetables. I do say get just a little bit, and then if you want more, come back, because they'll pile it up on their plate just so they don't have to get up a second time. So I do that. These are going to be so pretty once you set them up. Like once they're done and you put them on a plate, you drizzle some sauce right on the top of it. Drizzle some sauce right on the top of it with some shredded cheese. Put the cap back on it. And put it on a nice pretty plate. It doesn't matter what color, as long as it's clean. Put it on a nice paper plate. Put it on a nice plate and serve it up. It makes people feel different. When your food is pretty, it looks like you put more time and effort into it. And people feel a certain way when they like, you went through all this, even though you didn't go through like blood, sweat, and tears over the oven. You can let them think that. Don't tell them that, but you can let them think that. But you be sitting there like, yeah, you're worth it. And it only took you about 20 minutes. Take that, because compliments and praises for certain things are far and few between. We don't get them that often. Not like we used to. People are unhumble and unappreciative. So if somebody's giving you a compliment, take it, say thank you, and run with it and leave it like that. You can tell somebody, oh, that looks nice. Girl, I know. Like, you're supposed to say, oh, thank you, and then roll with it. People don't know how to take compliments no more. People don't know how to give compliments. You can't give one to certain people because they think you're trying to holler at them. The world is getting just so weird. That's why when COVID hit, I had no problem with staying my butt in the house. So a lot of people I did not want to be mixing energies with. Because it makes you feel different. Once you mix an energy with a person who doesn't think the same as you. And with everybody forcing their opinion on people, it's kind of hard to have a conversation without somebody getting upset, somebody feeling some type of way. Oh, you're just stupid. And that's how arguments get started. We can't agree to just disagree anymore. It's follow me in what I say or else. The world is getting just real raunchy, and I don't have a problem with keeping mine in this house. Because I'm pretty sure my opinion is completely different from everybody else's. Vaxxers, non-vaxxers, Bidens or Trumps or whatever. I don't know why we arguing like these men are not in the White House to actually make sure everybody that they don't know about. They're not caring about people that they don't know about. That's what vexes me. They care about their family. Like, you don't care about what your neighbors is doing as long as it don't affect you. Just because we elected this person to delegate how we supposed to live doesn't mean he's actually going to do it. Because there's been millions of presidents that could have did something different to fix what's going on in America. And they chose not to because it don't affect them. And that's how people got to look at it. These people getting paying themselves millions and billions of dollars to look at a situation and say, that's wrong and I'm going to try to fix it. And them trying to fix it is just saying they're going to try to fix it. They never said they were going to actually fix it. That's why I keep telling my kids, listen to exactly what a person says, because they're going to tell you their intentions if you listen to exactly what they're saying. If they say, I'm going to try, that means, yeah, me saying it is trying enough. That don't mean they're going to actually do it. Actions speak louder than words. Every president that ever been elected has said, we're going to stop this and we're going to stop that and we're going to do this, that, and the third to make everything better for everybody. And none of them has done none of it. So I don't get my hopes up. And I'm at the point of where I want to stop just voting altogether because I feel stupid by keep voting to get nothing in return. Now, once you do this, now y'all everybody know I keep telling my stove is kind of ratchet. I'm not buying a new one yet, but my stove is ratchet. So once we finish stuffing them, get a picture. Cover it with foil. This is only, and with this, man, this is only going to take, I'll put this in there and let it cook And I check on it every 30 minutes or something like that. But about an hour and a half, since they're not the big ones. Now, the big ones will take about 2. Because you want to make sure that meat we shoved in there gets all the way done. So these small ones, I'm going to give them for about, these small ones and these meatballs, give them about an hour. Then I come back and check. Give them about an hour, come back and check. And then give it another half an hour. They should be all the way done. But the big ones take a little longer because there's more meat. This is how you can tell my kids wash dishes, because there's pots in my oven that I did not know about. Okay, guys. I got shredded cheese, and I did. Now, we already know that these are ready. This is where you can either put your shredded cheese on. It doesn't matter which flavor. Or put, shoot, what do those good things at? And put it back on the oven to melt. Like, the sooner you can get the cheese on it, the better. But I really want to taste the one with the Italian sausage in it, and I forgot which one it was. The one with the mixture. It's kind of nice. But I want to transfer over. This is how it looks when you're done. The big ones are not done yet. They're not as soft, just the top of it. But these little ones are done. This is where you can add your cheese on top. And then if you want extra sauce, I would add some extra sauce and put it back in the oven and just let it heat the sauce itself up for a little bit. But we're not doing all that either. I'm going to take one of the small ones out. Let me see. I know these are the regular ones. I forgot which is which. I know this is one of them, I think. I know the red one is. So plating it. Simple plating would be, like you see, just putting it on the plate. I don't have I didn't grab a regular spoon. I grabbed a sliding spoon to get it out with, but I didn't grab anything to top it off. And that's when I say you add as much sauce or as less sauce as you want, depending on how much you like. But you can leave it like this. You can cap it back off. Anywhere it goes, it's really cute. It looks like somebody really cared somewhat in cooking this. I want to taste it before I end the video with you guys. So I put these other ones back in the oven. So this is how it looks in the inside. I am going to want more sauce to taste with. So basically we just make, even though it's stuffed peppers, it's basically still like a similar recipe to if you do the meatballs with the sauce and things like that, depending on how much time you have. The reason I want to do, even though I can make it, and I can show you guys how to make it, the reason I'm doing short, cute cooking is because everybody doesn't have as much time anymore to sit in the kitchen and prep and cut. Everybody is in a rush, but I'd rather you have time at least 2-3 times out of the week to fix something really fast for your family instead of, you know, the oven pizzas and everything that goes in the microwave. Oh my God. You guys don't have to try this. I wish they had smell-o-vision already, or taste-o-vision. Where's Willy Wonka when you need them? That you can transfer. This is actually, with the Italian sausage, this is actually really extremely good. And the cheese is just adding to it. Well, not to teach you that. This is actually so good. That's hot. Ah, that's hot. That's hot. That's hot. Okay. So my meat eaters, if you want to try something new, or just try to eat the same thing over and over again, I do recommend. I'm not tasting the one with the ground beef and Italian beef. The one. Is this the mixture or the regular one? I forgot which one this was. Whichever one it is, this is the one that got the Italian sausage in it. So that's the one I'm tasting. But we did three. We did regular. We did the one with Italian sausage by itself. And I think that's this one. Then we did the one with the Italian sausage and ground beef. So whichever one this is, it has the Italian sausage in it. Because I forgot. And I showed you guys the way for you guys to remember. My memory sucks, so I'm going to add some more cheese and finish eating this. But there you go. A different recipe for stuffed peppers. If you want to try it. I recommend it. It's actually really, really good. The flavors are wonderful. It still tastes like the stuffed pepper, but it's like just turned up a notch. But thank you for tuning in to another episode of Short Cute Cooking. This is Chef Joanne. Until next time, keep it short, keep it cute, and keep cooking. Do not forget to like, subscribe, share, and you can also leave comments. I take all comments except the weird ones they keep sending me to support sites. I am turning those in, just in case whoever keep leaving them, I will be turning you in. Well, other than that, you guys enjoy the rest of your day. Until next time.